So in row 21, we're transferring the edge stitch, and the following 3 stitches are knit stitches. Then we're in the patterned section. So transfer with yarn over, do doubled, transfer with yarn over, done together, and so on. And then one more transfer with yarn over, the 2 before the edge stitch get the addition and the edge stitch goes knitwise. In row 22, since it's a back row and we know that because the number is even, we're doing 4 purl stitches. Then we're doing a knit stitch for the 1 stitch with the yarn over. The next one we just transfer and then we keep doing that. So transfer, knit stitch, transfer, knit stitch. The last 4 stitches in the back row we always do knitwise. Row 23 is a front row, so we transfer the edge stitch, then we do 2 together, yarn over and the knit stitch, so that's how we get the little hole. So in case you don't want a hole here, it's a very simple thing and a very simple solution. You just do 4 knit stitches, so it's even easier that way. Anyway, then we have a pattern section. So here we again transfer with the yarn over, do 2 done together, and so on. We keep repeating that. And then I keep doing that till I have just 3 left, and then I do the addition and the edge stitch. In row 24, we do 4 purl stitches because it's a back row. And then the next stitch doesn't have a yarn over, which means we transfer it with a yarn over. Then the one that has, the next one, we do knitwise together with the yarn over. And we again keep repeating that. And the last 4 we do knitwise as always. And then we get something looking like this, and I'm already excited. I think it already looks amazing. And yeah, this is how you have the patterned pattern section. And now I'm gonna start with the stripes. So that's row 25 in my case. So we're starting with transferring the edge stitch. 3 stitches knitwise, and then we're just gonna do purl stitches without anything else. The ones that are doubled, so that have a yarn over, we do together as one, and apart from that it's just regular purl stitches all through the row. And then the 2 stitches before the edge stitch again are gonna get an addition, so we still want that. And then the edge stitches knitwise. Row 26, which means that it's a back row, and we do 4 purl stitches. And from here on we do just knit stitches. So this way we're gonna get lovely stripes, and as you can see, it's really easy to do, really relaxing. As always, in back rows, the last 4 stitches are gonna get knit stitches, and this is always gonna stay the same regardless of what you do in the middle. The first two after the edge stitch we do knitwise together, then yarn over, and the following one knitwise. So that way we get the whole, and then we continue with the purl stitches. When I have just 2 stitches before the edge stitch, that's where I do the addition. This back row, we start with 4 purl stitches. And then we do knit stitches till the end of the row, because the last couple of stitches in the back row we always do knitwise, which just means that we're continuing till the end in knit stitches. Super easy. And yeah, you see how simple this section is, and it also helps you a little bit with remembering the entire pattern. And yeah, let's continue with row 29. So we transfer the edge stitch, then we do 3 knit stitches, and then I have 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rows here, and now we want knit stitches here. So these stripes are always 4 rows of purl and knit stitches. The last 2 before the edge stitch, as always, get the addition. So we get 3 stitches out of the 2, and the edge stitch is a knit stitch. Row 30, we start with 4 purl stitches. And then we do purl stitches all the way till we have just 4 stitches left. Okay, so now we have 1 more, and now we do the last 4 knitwise, including the edge stitch. Row 31, we transfer the edge stitch, then we do 3 knit stitches. Oops, okay, I forgot we do a hole here. So we do 2 done together, then a yarn over and knit stitch on the next one. So that way we're not forgetting the hole that we did the entire time and that you can also see nicely here. And then from this point on, we're just gonna do knit stitches till not the end of the row, but till I have just 2 stitches left, and that's where the addition is gonna go. 2 stitches before the edge stitch, so a total of 3. And yeah, let's continue with row 32, another back row. So here we're gonna do 4 purl stitches as always. And then we're gonna do purl stitches all the way. The last 4 we're gonna do knitwise, but apart from that, it's all purl stitches. There we go. Okay, so now we're at row 33. And now comes another front stripe, as I'm gonna call it. So a front stripe and a back stripe, simply because of the way they're positioned. So we're doing the edge stitch, then 3 knit stitches, and then again purl stitches, till we have just 2 left and the edge stitch, and those are always knitwise in front rows. Knitwise, but also the addition is what I meant. So we do the addition here and then the edge stitch knitwise. The first 4 stitches we do purlwise. And then we do knit stitches because we're at the back stripe. The last 4 are also knitwise, so we don't have to think this time. We can just do all of them knitwise. And then we have row 35. So we transfer the edge stitch. We do 2 together knitwise to get the little hole. Yarn over knitwise. And if you don't see this, then you can always remember it by the number. So the back row here, the row 36, is dividable by 4. And you always remember the one row before the one dividable by 4 is where you do the little hole. So the next one is going to be at row 39. And it's easy to remember, but you also can just remember that you do them in every other front row. And here we do just purl stitches, and then the last 2 ones get the addition, and the edge stitch is always knitwise. Row 36 is the back row, so 4 purl stitches. And then knit stitches all the way till the end. This is an easy row. And you see that the more stitches you have, the more relaxing these rows are, because you just keep repeating the exact same stitch throughout the entire thing. Okay, so now we have 12 rows, or 3 times the 4 rows in stripes. So 2 front stripes and 1 back stripe in the middle. And now we're gonna have 12 rows in the patent pattern. And yeah, if you don't want to count these stitches, so the first 4 that we always do with the hole or without, you can mark this, but you don't have to. That's completely up to you. You can count or you can mark. So in row 37, So the front row after the hole, that's also how you can remember it. Here we're going to transfer the edge stitch, and then we're not going to do a hole, so we're going to do 3 knit stitches. And now we can begin with 1 stitch starting like a purl stitch. And this way we just transfer it, we don't do a purl stitch. Then we do a knit stitch, and then again a transfer, a knit stitch, a transfer, a knit stitch. And we keep repeating that. Just a couple more, then the last 2 before the edge stitch get the addition, and the edge stitch we do knitwise. Row 38 is a back row, so 4 stitches purlwise, and then we're at the pattern section. So the stitch with the yarn over, we do knitwise. And when you don't see a yarn over, then you transfer it with a new yarn over knitwise. Or not knitwise, you just transfer it onto your working needle. And in between you always do knit stitches. And as always, the last 4 stitches are knitwise. Okay, and now we have another front row in the pattern. So here we need the hole. If you remember, the 40 is divisible by 4, and this is 1 less, so 39, which means we're doing 2 done together and then yarn over and knitwise the next one. And then the stitch that doesn't have a yarn over gets a yarn over and is transferred. And the next one we do knitwise together with its own yarn over. And we keep repeating that. This stitch is knitwise, the last 2 get the addition, and the edge stitch, as always, we do knitwise. Row 40 is a back row, so we do 4 purl stitches. Then we have here a stitch without a yarn over, which means we transfer it with a yarn over. And the next one that does have it, we do it knitwise. And keep repeating that. The last 4 we do knitwise. Okay, so now I finished this entire section, and we do it the exact same way as you already know it. And I did this until I had 16 rows in this pattern. So you can see here I marked the stitches, and that way I knew how to count, and I just counted here at the edge. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 total. And now this means that we're again at the section where we want the stripes. So 53rd row is a row where we start our stripe, our front stripe. And I'll show you this, but you already know what to do. So we transfer the edge stitch, then we do the first 3 stitches knitwise, because we don't need a hole there. We already did it in the last front row. And then all of the following stitches we do purlwise. The ones with the yarn over we do together, and we also do them purlwise. And then when you have just 2 stitches plus the edge stitch, that's where you do, as always, the addition out of the 2 and the edge stitch knitwise. And this is how we start. The stripe that you see on the bottom is going to be the exact same thing on the top. And you can keep working on this for as long as you like. And yeah, I think it looks lovely. It has such a complex texture, and I think it looks amazing this way. And I just wanted to show you how you can do this. It seems more complicated than it really is, but you just need a little bit of time and patience, and when you get the hang of it, it's really easy to do. Depending on the size that you want, you might need 2 or 3 balls, depending also on the type of yarn that you use. But yeah, you can get really great results. You can also get a really big, extra big shawl. And yeah, what I also wanted to show you is another section. So I'm gonna finish the couple of stripes, so the 2 front ones and the one in the back. And then I'm also gonna do the pattern, and then I'm gonna show you what I have, just so you have another preview with a couple more rows done. Okay, you guys, so you see here what it looks like, and I used up my entire ball of my charity, and this is the amount that I have because it does have a lot of stitches, and it is pretty thick, which means you're gonna need a bit more yarn than maybe for some other projects. But yeah, what I wanted to show you is how you can do a nice and neat edge, just so everything looks nice, just like the left and the right edge already do. Okay, so here I already finished the 16 pattern rows, and now I want to finish this off just to show you the edge. So we're transferring the edge stitch again onto your working needle, and I'm gonna start with a row with just knit stitches. So when the yarns over are there, you just do them with their stitch, and when they're not, you just do a regular knit stitch. So with the last couple of pattern sections, we always did purl stitches on top, and this time we want to do knit stitches. Actually, we want a garter stitch just so it looks nicer, but you're gonna see in a moment what I mean. And also we do the back row also in knit stitch, but I just wanted to finish this one before we get to that section. And yeah, I'm also gonna do an addition here, just the way we did it so far, so nothing new from this point on. So here we just do 3 stitches out of these 2 done together, and that's it. Okay, now we can transfer the edge stitch. And then we do knit stitches in this back row. So in the last row we did purl stitches, and now we want to do knit stitches. I'm at the end of the row, and you see here the garter stitch that I was talking about. Now we transfer the edge stitch. We're going to do 2 stitches together, yarn over, and then 1 knit stitch. And then we keep repeating 2 stitches done together, yarn over, knit stitch, 2 stitches done together, yarn over, knit stitch. The following back row is going to get knit stitches. Okay, so after the row that we just did, I did another back row, and then you can see here what it looks like. And yeah, I stopped with the additions, which you can see on this side here after our holes, so we don't want any of those anymore. And now we're just gonna finish off. So transfer the edge stitch, do a knit stitch, and then pull the first loop over the second one to cast the stitch off. So this is just like with any other knitting project and casting off. Also, we want to make sure that there's no excessive tension, so just pull on it after a couple of stitches to see if everything's looking good and not doing anything weird or being too tight. You can also do this by just pulling the stitch a little bit longer than what you usually would do, because it gives it a lot of room to breathe. And yeah, when you do this entire row like this, then you're going to have your needles free and you're going to have your shawl done. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to shoot a thumbs up if you did. You can also subscribe to my channel, and if you click on the notification bell, you'll never miss another video that I post. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next projects. Have a wonderful day. Bye!